This car was a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Why did you buy it?
So this car and I have a very unique history. This car was owned by a guy who was in California. And on the Gumball 3000, he loaned the car to Lewis Hamilton. So Lewis Hamilton drove this car in the Gumball from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. And I want to say it was 2015, 2016. I'm not sure. But Lewis Hamilton drove the car. I was living in Utah at the time, and I had never seen a Koenigsegg Agera. And I heard he was driving it. So it was over the weekend. I drove my Audi down to Las Vegas and waited around all day. You know, these rallies, they're always behind schedule. I get to the finish line, it's like noon, and Lewis Hamilton finally shows up at like 9 p.m. So I'm sitting around for 9 hours waiting for these cars to come in. And, you know, Lewis Hamilton drives the car in. I have this cool shot of him getting out of the car and like waving to the camera and whatnot. And it was just like mind-blowing that I saw a Koenigsegg. But it was a Friday night and I was going to be in Vegas all weekend. So Saturday morning, I was sleeping in my car. I was living in Utah, working as an accountant. But when I would go on trips, I would still sleep in my car to save money. So slept in my car that night, woke up first thing in the morning, and I started just driving around Las Vegas, trying to find the Gumball cars to film more videos. And I stumbled across the Koenigsegg. It was on the top floor of the parking garage at the Bellagio. And I found it there sitting with a bunch of the other Gumball cars. Super excited. And so I just parked up my Audi in the parking lot and I filmed a bunch of stuff on it. And I just sat there and I was going to wait for the car to leave. Because at this point, like I kind of vlogged on camera, but most of it was just filming cars, right? And I really wanted to get a startup clip. I wanted to get more driving footage, et cetera, et cetera. And so I sat around all day on this parking garage, all day. And the car never left. It sat there all day. So Saturday night, I go find my camping spot wherever, sleep in the car, wake up Sunday morning, and I go and the car's still there. And I wait around all day. But around like, I don't know, 1, 2 p.m., they come out to the car finally, and the car has a dead battery. The Koenigsegg has a dead battery because it's been sitting out for, you know, a couple days. Who knows? The car didn't get driven that often. It probably was like low voltage or the battery needed replaced or whatever. I was really shy at the time. I didn't have the confidence level that I do now. And one thing led to another, and the guy was trying to figure out a way to open up the car door, and he's on the phone, and he needed a set of tools. And I had a set of tools in my Audi because my Audi always broke down. I always had tools with me. And so that's kind of how the conversation started. I had this toolbox and somehow he's on the phone with Koenigsegg. He might've been on the phone with Christian von Koenigsegg for all I know. And there's a way to remove one of the reflectors on the back end of the car, but you need like a Phillips head screwdriver. And once you remove that, there's a manual pull that will open up the rear deck lid. So he used my tools to open this up. And the whole time I'm mesmerized because I'm talking to a guy who's affiliated with a Koenigsegg. Like this is the only Koenigsegg Agera in the entirety of North America. Like this is insane. Lewis Hamilton was driving it. And eventually like he gets access to the battery, but right on the battery it says, do not jumpstart. Right? Like do not jumpstart, but we don't have a jumper pack or anything. And I have jumper cables in my car as well because my Audi breaks down all the time. Like I come prepared no matter where I go. And I was like, well, we could like hook up the jumper cables to my Audi. And he's like looking around, doesn't know what to do. Like his trailer, cause he's going to trailer the car back to LA. His trailer's like 2-3 miles away. He doesn't know what to do. And so sure enough, I get in my Audi, I pull up my Audi next to this Koenigsegg, I pull out my jumper cables and we hook it up. So my Audi, like I have this photo of my Audi hooked up to a Koenigsegg. And, you know, when you jumpstart a car, obviously you're supposed to like turn on your car and, you know, to draw more power, but we don't want to blow up this battery because it's a Swedish car, like parts are very obscure and it says, do not jumpstart. And so we're thinking maybe we could get just enough power to at least open up the door, right? Because right now you can't even get the door open. And unfortunately, we can't get enough. And the guy has a jumper pack back at his truck. And I offer to give him a ride. I'm like, I'll give you a ride there. We can go get the jumper pack. And once again, he's like looking around. He's got like, I'm just like a car spotter kid and I'm dingy, right? I haven't showered in 3 days. I'm just a kid. And I've been sleeping in my car and he says yes. So all of a sudden I get in my Audi and I'm looking around in my passenger seat. There's like Taco Bell, like wrappers everywhere. I have my pillow and my comforter like sitting there. I have dirty clothes in the back seat because I've been sleeping out of the car for 2 or 3 days. And all of a sudden it's like this mad dash. You're just like grabbing everything and trying to, push it to the back because once again, I don't know who this guy is. He's got a Koenigsegg though, right? Like this guy is like, and especially back then, like you're in awe of any kind of supercar, hypercar owner. And so, he gets in the car, he's super nice. And, we drive the 2 miles to get his jumper pack or whatever. And we get back to the car and he hooks up the jumper pack and sure enough, it's enough power. He opens the door, he lets it sit there for a couple minutes and the car fires up. So I'm thinking I'm done, right? Like this is it. And last ditch effort, I'm like, is there any way I could go for a ride? And like, it's an immediately no. And I'm not fussed at all. I'm like, I totally get him, like it is a Koenigsegg. Like I shouldn't be touching this car. The fact that I got to sit in it, cause he let me sit in it earlier. The fact that I got to sit in it was amazing. And then like, as I'm walking away, he's like, get in. And I get in the car and it was like, I mean, at this point I'd never ridden in anything. Like I think I'd ridden in a Gallardo and maybe I'd sat in some other cars, but I am in a Koenigsegg and we are driving out of the Bellagio. I mean, you can imagine the chaos that is. Like, I feel like a rock star. It's just wild. And then we pull onto the Las Vegas Strip and he takes me back to the truck or whatnot. And I told him when I got in the car, is like, I'll just walk back. Like I'll walk back to my car. And bear in mind, I'd only been to Vegas maybe once or twice. I didn't have a smartphone or anything. I have no idea how I'm going to get back to my car, but I don't care, right? Like it doesn't matter. And I help him load up the Koenigsegg back into the trailer. And, I'm just like on top of the world, right? And then he's like, do you know how to get back to your car? And I'm like, I was like, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Like, I'm just like, I don't care. Like, you're fine. Like, don't worry about it. He ends up taking me back in the truck and drops me off in front and I walk up to the parking garage. But I remember like the whole drive home. I mean, I am just like best day of my entire life. I mean, just like unbelievable. The fact that I saw a Koenigsegg, I got to sit, he took me for a ride in it. Like, and I'll take you guys both for rides later.
Yeah.
This car is unlike any other car. I mean, the windshield, the way it wraps around you, the way the doors open, the V8 is like bolted to your spine. The transmission is so violent. It's so fast. I mean, it is just a roller coaster. This car it's the greatest car ever built. And so, I mean, like getting that experience back then, it was life-changing.
Did you ever find out who that guy was?
Yeah, we're friends now. Yeah, we're friends. Yeah. The day that I got the car, I let him know. And I mean, obviously,
how did you guys keep in touch?
Randomly, we lost touch for many years. And then through another friend who worked with this guy, we got reconnected. Amazing, yeah.
For him, that's got to be crazy.
Oh, I know.
Seeing you the first time with the pillow and the comfort. No,
I know. I mean, I was a kid. Like, I mean, I was just a car. And like, if you drive around a Koenigsegg, like you deal with these car spotter kids all the time, right? Like they all blend in. They're all dime a dozen. There's these kids with cameras chasing you around. It's fun. It's kind of annoying, but it's fun. And you were like that as a kid too. And so, yeah, I mean, he must be so confused, shocked.
So what was going through your mind when this came up for sale? Or like, how did you coordinate all of this?
So ironically, the car went up for sale, man, probably 3 years ago. And I remember seeing it for sale. I owned the Veyron at the time. And the asking price on the car, I can't quite remember what it was. It was in the twos, maybe like 2.4 million. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that car is for sale. Because the car is called the Agera HH. And HH stands for Heinemeier Hansen. The original owner of this car, his name was David Heinemeier Hansen. And he had the car custom commissioned. And he has a Pagani Zonda that is also called the HH. And it's a matching spec. It's blue with carbon. So he has the two cars, matching specs. They're both HHs. So when he owned the car, you never imagined the car's ever even going to come up for sale because like the car's named after him. So when the car came up for sale 3 years ago, I was like, how is this car even for sale? This is amazing. And the price was like extreme. And I thought about it. And then a week later it was gone and the car had sold. And sure enough, Houston bought it in Vegas. Houston had bought it. And I was so excited, but so jealous at the same time, right? Because I was like, Houston owns this car, which means there's a good chance I could go for a ride in it. Maybe he'll let me drive it, well, whatnot, and Houston's such a great friend of mine. Right. And so it was cool that it was at least in the family. Right. But there was that one moment right before he bought it where I thought maybe I could get it. But it was, everything happens for a reason. I wasn't really ready for it anyways. And I want to say in October of this last year, Houston hit me up and he wanted to get rid of it. And he's like, you're the first person I'm calling because I feel like the car needs to go in your hands. You're the right owner for the car. Nobody, I don't want to say deserves this car, but like you're the one who deserves this car. You have this story with this car.
He's a salesman.
You love Koenigsegg. You're going to drive the car. You're going to enjoy the car. Like I want you to have the car. Like what can we do to get you to have the car? And I was like, bro, I can't afford the car because they're going up in value. Mm-hmm. Like this car is just going up in value every single day. And so the car was worth a lot more than 2.4 million or whatever it was before. I just kind of told Houston, I was like, I can't do it, bro. It can't happen. He wanted to figure out a way to make it happen. And the leasing is what really made the deal happen. Being able to lease the car. That was the thing that I had never really considered, that the tax advantages honestly was really what did it. The tax advantages, because leasing a car, there's the ability to write off the lease payment, especially when you use it the way that I do, which is strictly for business use. Every single time I drive this car, I'm filming YouTube videos, TikToks, Instagrams. I don't drive the car that much, and 100% of the time I drive the car is for business use, and so it actually works very well for a leasing situation.
Yeah.
And obviously with the leasing situation, you don't have to put as much money down. The payments are big and the interest rates are a little bit higher, but it allowed me to get into a car that, I really, really couldn't afford to just pay cash for.
Yeah. So for the Bugatti, you were calling that a bit of a loss leader, that it might not make money, but at least it brings people into the channel.
Right.
And then COVID just completely spiked the value of cars. Do you view this the same way, that it might be a loss leader, or do you think you make money on this?
Okay, so when I bought the Veyron, I felt like the car was undervalued. Like I genuinely thought the car was undervalued, and I still think it's undervalued. And when I sold the car for $1,050,000, I was like, this car's gonna be worth so much more. The Veyron, they built 450 of them. The car, in a lot of ways, is the world's first hypercar, 1,000 horsepower, W16, 4 turbochargers, top speed production car, world record. Like the car is like a holy grail car that is very, very undervalued. So when I did buy it for $880,000, I knew the car was going to be worth more. You just look at trends, right? Like generally when a car is 20 to 30 years old, that's when it starts to appreciate in value. You look at the 250 GTOs, you look at the McLaren F1, you look at the Ferrari F40, the Ferrari F50s, like these cars all follow the same trend. Now, the hard part about the Bugatti is the maintenance. The maintenance has always deterred a lot of people from buying the Veyron. The tires have hurt, the oil changes have hurt. And the driving experience on the Veyron is a little bit more luxurious, I guess you might say. It's not nearly as raw as some cars, and generally more analog cars tend to go up more in value, more like driver focused cars. But I still felt like the Veyron was undervalued. Now, COVID obviously changed the entire landscape, and it spiked the value of the car a lot faster than I expected. And that helped me, get out of the car with a couple $100,000 gain at least, especially if you include the content. Now, the Koenigsegg, I also believe the same. However, I feel like the Koenigsegg, the ceiling is much, much, much higher. I believe this car will be worth $5 million someday in the near future. Mm-hmm. I think someday it could be $10 million. It could go bigger than that. The very upper echelon of the car market is very hard to predict. The McLaren F1, you guys are probably familiar. That car, when I was in high school, that car was worth about $2 million. And now it's worth between 25 and 35 million probably. That car is kind of it's an outlier of sorts. The Pagani Zonda is in a lot of ways sort of the successor to the McLaren F1. Zondas a couple years ago were 2-3 million for like a low spec Zonda S, Zonda F, whatnot. And now good luck finding a Zonda for, under 7, 8, 9, 10 million. So the Zonda is kind of following the footsteps of the McLaren F1. Now you look at the production numbers of these cars. McLaren F1, they built 106 of them. The Pagani Zonda, I want to say it's about the same. about 100 cars. The Koenigsegg Agera, there's 58 of these in the world. The Agera RS set the top speed production car world record. Koenigsegg as a brand is just growing and growing and growing in popularity. I mean, the younger generation, Koenigsegg is the number one brand by far. I think most people dream of owning a Koenigsegg. Like, it's kind of become like the poster car brand of like sort of like the boutique brands. And so I just feel like this car is in a very unique spot to possibly follow the Zonda and the F1. Even if it doesn't, it's still going up in value though. But I think it does have the chance for that extreme appreciation.